So, man, free agency is up and running.
It's been
What
crazy,
we
man.
got?
It's been crazy. So
Yeah.
there's been a lot of movement. There's been a lot of movement.
Right.
I don't think we should run through every single one. It's gonna
Nah.
be a
Yeah.
tricky, long day. But
Yeah.
let's focus on some teams that we think we want to focus on. So
Yeah.
let's start
We
with
can we can actually start with the Golden State Warriors.
start. That's an easy one. They did nothing. They did nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing there. I mean, we can
Nothing.
start. Look, we can start with
Yeah.
our favorite team, our friend's favorite team, Dallas Mavericks.
Dallas
Dallas
Mavericks. Yeah.
So the Dallas Mavericks, they re-signed Dante Exum. Obviously, they drafted Cooper
Yeah.
Flag. We're gonna talk
Right.
about it. We're gonna see if we can talk
We'll
about
talk
it
about
later.
the summer league later. Yeah.
They did extend Kyrie Irving, and
Mhm.
this is notable because Kyrie opted out of his deal. Everyone was
Yeah.
expecting him to opt in. He opted out
Mhm.
and took a team-friendly deal.
Yeah.
Sana all. And then
Yeah.
we all know, we all know Kyrie's out for the year. We all know Kyrie's
Right.
out for the year. And then they signed the Lakers' favorite point guard for the last couple of years. Deloading is gonna be there in Dallas to man the point guard for a bit. He signed, I believe it's an $8 million per year deal with a player option on the second deal. So what do you think? What do you think about that deal? So they're essentially replacing, at least for now, Kyrie with D'Lo, along with
D'Lo.
the addition of Cooper Flag. What do you think about
Right.
the Mavs' chances?
Hey, just like old times in LA, AD, D'Lo. We've seen that. We've seen that 1-2 punch. But hey, you know what? That's a pretty solid team if you ask me. And I mean, D'Lo is still he's a streak shooter. He'll be a decent point guard. You know, he's gonna make some pretty questionable decisions. I'm pretty
A
sure
lot of them.
a lot of them, but you know he has the weapons. You know, I mean the addition of Cooper Flag and you still have Klay Thompson and then you have AD. It's gonna make his job pretty easy in Dallas. Having all those guys with him.
A lot of people forget the pick and roll between D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Davis worked pretty well for the Lakers. To be honest with you. Right? That's one of the good spots in that relationship.
Right.
And speaking of which, I don't know if you've heard about the news. So, not the players weren't the only change in Dallas. They also added new coaching staff. So they added Phil Handy from the Lakers,
Oh, okay.
and guess who the new assistant coach of the Mavericks is?
Yeah.
Our boy Frank Vogel is the new
What?
assistant coach for the Mavericks.
Wow.
So he's essentially the associate head coach
Yeah.
from the for our Jason Kidd now, which is ironic because the roles were reversed during the 2 years that they were together in
Right.
LA. So that's pretty
Yeah.
interesting. Oh, look, I want the Mavs to succeed really.
Yeah.
They've been through they've been through hell at least.
Right.
And
Yeah.
dude, they gave us Luka, man. Really,
Yeah.
I gotta be very, very thankful for Nico Harrison and the Mavericks, and I wish them all the best. Let's talk about the next team on the list. So another Western Conference rival, the Denver Nuggets.
The Denver
What do you
Nuggets.
think?
Ooh.
How about those Denver Nugget moves? Do you have them?
Wow, man. Bruce Brown is back. Key a key member of that championship team. Yeah. And they even got Cam Johnson?
Yes, they traded.
Cam Johnson,
They traded Michael Porter Jr. and they gained Cam Johnson, which is given Michael Porter Jr.'s contract, this was probably one of the best moves that Denver Nuggets could make.
Yeah. Yep. Who else
They also signed Tim Hardaway Jr.
Tim Hardaway
Jr.
Jr. Yeah.
Yep. And then they traded for Jonas Valanciunas.
Right. Oh.
So they got the backup. They got the backup,
Yeah.
man. That's pretty good. So, but the big news in Denver is that Nikola Jokic announced that he would not be signing an extension anytime soon. So
Ooh.
there's some clouds in Denver.
Yep.
But what do
hmm
you think about Denver's chances this year?
I think I would grade their free agency an A plus. Like, made all the right moves. Granted that Jokic didn't sign an extension, but that's his decision. It's up to Denver. It's in their hands to to kind of you know pitch pitch him, and sell him on this team because they're poised to make another deep playoff run. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think this kind of solidifies them to
Yeah.
be at
hmm
least in the top five in the West.
Right.
Really. So
And
we don't know.
Cam Johnson is, I think, I mean, on the court is an upgrade from Michael Porter Jr. Because I know Denver, Michael Porter Jr.'s job at Denver was, the play's gonna end with me, and it kind of came to a point where he wasn't just that consistent of a shooter, where he was still chucking up those threes, but it just wasn't going in. So I think Cam Johnson from Brooklyn, right? And he's a
Yep.
more consistent shooter, and really fits into the offense. I think.
100%. Cam Johnson is one of the best 3-and-D guys in the league.
Right.
And I really wanted him to go to the Lakers, to be honest.
Yeah.
But obviously it didn't happen. But as you said, he's a great fit in Denver with what they're trying to do. He obviously can defend. He's a much more consistent shooter than Michael Porter Jr. A lot less athletic, but that's okay.
Yeah. hmm
The They should be good from that end. I mean, look, they added a lot of shooting here. Cam Johnson
Right.
and Tim Hardaway Jr. can shoot, and they
hmm
have a legitimate center backup now.
Yeah.
I mean, DeAndre Jordan was okay, but
He was old. He was getting-
Jonas is on another level. Although I
yeah.
think that they're kind of having talks right now whether he wants to report to the team or not, because Jonas has an offer from the Greek league to join that team as well. But
Oh.
I'm pretty sure they can. You have millions of reasons to convince him to
Right.
stay. But
Yeah.
we'll see what happens there. And Bruce Brown, sixth man of the year,
Yep.
right? And he was great, as you said. He was great for them in the finals, and he absolutely torched the Lakers. And it's definitely going to be a great addition. And they're
Yep.
one of the deepest teams now, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
And that's gonna hold a lot of weight in the West. Remember, they finished, I believe, with the same record or a loss different than the Lakers. So
Right.
you really can expect that to improve moving forward.
Oh yeah.
Okay. One more thing that another team that I wanted to highlight really was the Atlanta Hawks, and
Ooh.
they made a great move because we all know that Boston was very desperate to get out of the second apron with
Yep.
Jason Tatum being out for at least this season, and they did a great job of doing that. So they got Kristaps Porzingis from the Celtics,
Ooh, yeah.
right? They signed Luke Kennard, great shooter, a decent shooter, another Laker killer there, and they did a sign and trade for Nikhil Alexander Walker from the Wolves. So look, the Hawks in
Yeah.
a weak East.
Making noise. Yeah.
They're gonna make noise this season, I believe. I think we all thought that Trey Young was on his way out. We
Right.
thought that they were due for a rebuild, but that's not gonna happen.
Nope.
They look very, very good. They got a little bit younger. I'm a bit iffy on Tingus Pingus here,
Yeah.
given his given his injury concerns. But dude, that's a great fit for them
Yeah.
from a center position, right?
Very good fit.
Porzingis is a great fit for what they're trying to do over there, and I think Atlanta's going to make a lot of noise as well this year.
Right. Oh yeah.
So, speaking of the East, a big thing that happened with the East this year was Tyrese Halliburton going down with his own Achilles
Right.
injury.
Yep.
So they eventually lost the will to spend, and
Yeah.
as a result, Miles Turner, who was a free agent, he went to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Bucks. Yep.
Now, Bucks is another team that we want to monitor for the immediate future because, I mean, someone's due for an extension over there as well, and he's not really committing to anything right now. We're talking about
Right.
Giannis here.
Yep.
So Giannis and Nikola Jokic can both be free agents in 2027, which is 2 years
Correct.
from now. So there's going to be a lot of talk between here
Mm-hmm.
and then, whether they sign extensions or not, and what those teams do.
Wow.
But from Chance's perspective, the Bucks lost Brook Lopez, and
Yep.
they did an upgrade, improved them with Miles Turner.
Yep.
But what do you? They also, again, in order to sign Miles Turner, they had to waive Damian
Yeah.
Lillard.
That was
All right.
crazy.
Yeah, what do you
Yeah.
think about the move to waive Dame? Because they absolutely needed to do that to free up some space
Right.
to sign Miles Turner. What do you think about the Dame move from the Bucks, and how does this impact them?
Wow. Well, some people I've heard some some commentaries about this move where people are saying that Milwaukee kind of jumped the gun too early to to waive Dame, and then basically considering this Miles Turner acquisition a panic move.
Mm.
But I think in the long run, they're kind of looking at the possibility that Dame's not gonna be the same player when he comes back,
Mm.
and rather than rather than keeping him on the roster, waiting one full year before he comes back, and then having to um, go to 26, 27, with him coming back and not knowing not knowing if he's the same player. They chose to bolster their front court, which I think is a good move. It definitely is an upgrade from Brook Lopez, although Brook is, um, Brook really, had a solid few years in Milwaukee, but Miles Turner is just, he can shoot, he can defend. He's a shot blocker, so he's more athletic. So definitely, yeah. Which now leaves them as who is their starting point guard this in 25-26.
Giannis, baby. I don't know.
Yeah.
But speaking of guards here, um, you talking about Brook Lopez? He went to the Clippers, obviously.
Mhm.
I was hoping that he would go to the Lakers.
Hope you come back.
Brook
Yeah.
Lopez is one of my favorite centers in the league, by the way.
Mhm.
But he went to the Clippers, who essentially traded Norman Powell away
Right.
for peanuts because they're anticipating that Bradley Beal is gonna get
This
bought
is
out
gonna get
soon.
bought out by the
Okay.
Suns.
Yeah, we're going to
Yeah.
talk about the Suns in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the Clippers with Brook Lopez, he's essentially going to back up
Mm.
Big Zoo now.
Zubaks, yeah.
And then you got Bradley Beal to fill into the shooting guard if he comes to the
Mm-hmm.
Clippers. So you essentially have James Harden, Bradley Beal, Kawhi Leonard, and you have Zubats. You have, I believe, Derek Jones Jr. is there as
Mm-hmm.
well. You have Chris Dunn, and you have Brook. Well, Clippers are,
Mm.
I don't know what's going on, but I think they're
Yeah.
gonna be pretty scary next year.
Yeah. Mm.
They've added
Um,
a lot more scoring, and yeah,
yeah, a lot more offensive firepower with the Clippers. And James Harden, we know, he can play the point. So
yeah, I think they're still gonna choke this away, but yeah, we'll
yeah.
see. We'll see what happens there. Now, one of my favorite, before we move on to the next topic, one of my favorite moves that happened this offseason was Detroit Pistons signing Karis LeVert and then
Yeah.
signing and trading for Duncan Robinson.
For Duncan
Detroit
Robinson.
was on a roll last year. They made the
Yeah.
playoffs
Oh yeah.
for the first time
Mm-hmm.
in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got a lot more shooting and they got
Mm-hmm.
6 man support, really. Karis LeVert is one of the better 6 men out there.
Yeah.
In a weaker East, right, where they ended up last year, do you think the Pistons have room for improvement? And is Cade gonna take another step this year
Oh yeah.
and take the Pistons
Kid
somewhere
Cunningham
higher?
has so much. Yeah, Kid Cunningham has so much potential. And you finally have that pure shooter, Duncan Robinson. Although I know he's in his 30s and probably has a few more years left, but he's definitely gonna give them more outside shooting. Karis LeVert definitely energy off the bench, and then you have your bigs, like Beef Stew and um,
Tobias Harris, man.
Tobias Harris. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I could anticipate the Pistons improving on that, that seventh seed that they got, during the playoffs this year.
Right, right. I'm expecting them to make a big splash as well this
Hmm.
year. Now, we've been stalling for a little bit, but we do want to talk about this. So we left out two teams for a reason, and we're going to talk about them now. So
Yeah.
first is what happened in this offseason is apparently the largest. Okay, not the biggest, the largest trade in NBA history. So
Mm. Houston Rockets. Yeah.
this 17 trade that happened recently. Do you want to detail? Do you
The
want the
thing,
details
yeah,
there?
that's the thing. No, I didn't realize it was 17 trades. Like I thought it was just three, but now,
Yeah, so initially I
yeah,
think it was three, but it
right,
expanded to seven. So let's
yeah, yeah.
let's detail
Let's
that.
break
So
it down. Yeah.
right, so Kevin Durant
Uh huh.
went from the Rockets received Kevin Durant and Clint Capella. The Suns received Jalen Green,
Jalen Green.
Kababayan Jalen Green,
Mm-hmm.
and Dylan the Villain,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of draft picks.
Second.
So
Yeah.
Kaman Maluak,
Yep.
and among them, and then the Lakers received the draft rights to Adu Thiero.
Adotiro. Uh-huh.
He's like a Vando on steroids
Yep.
when I saw the
Mm.
highlights. The Warriors, I mean, the Warriors actually did something here, but they
Uh.
just got draft picks really. So they just got second round
Mhm.
draft picks,
Right.
a couple of them. The Wolves received a couple of draft picks as well
Right.
and cash from the Lakers.
Hmm.
The Nets received picks, and the Hawks received cash and David Roddy and all that. So that's
Right.
basically seven.
Whew.
But the impact here is those two first teams,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
you have uh, the Rockets getting KD and Clint Capella, and the Suns getting more guards. So let's talk about the
Hmm.
Rockets a little bit. What is the impact of Kevin Durant to this Rockets team, who finished the second seed last year, but
Hmm.
as we know, they lost in the first round.
Yep.
So what's gonna happen to the Rockets here? They
You
essentially, I
kind,
believe, are going all in now.
yeah, you kind of figured that with the team the Rockets had last year, their ceiling was really going to be early playoff exit.
Yep.
That they're a young team. They kind of still trying to figure out what it takes to win. And now you got Kevin Durant, 27 points a game,
Mm.
has the championship experience, has the has a now gives them a threat. Where teams are gonna collapse on him, and you have guys who are gonna be feeding off um, of this adjustment. Like guys like Jabari Smith, Tari Eason, Alperen Sengun, Fred Van Vliet.
Yep.
You're
Who
looking at a
just
team
they
that's
just
pretty
resigned
much
too.
gonna make some noise. Yeah.
Look, yeah. I mean, look. They also got Dorian Finney-Smith from the Lakers, by the way.
Oh,
Before we forget.
they already got DFS.
So,
Huh?
so they still had their non-taxpayer mid-level exception and use
Right.
all that on Dorian Finney-Smith. So
Mhm.
their depth chart is insane. They
Yeah.
essentially can start Fred Van Vliet, right? They start Amen Thompson, obviously one of the best
I mean
defensive,
Thompson. I don't know. Yeah, yeah,
best defensive players, not
Yeah.
even rookie players
yeah,
in the league.
yeah.
As we mentioned, we got Tyree Eason and KD in there, and
Mhm.
Şengün, and then they have Jabbar Smith, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Steven Adams and Reed Shepard
Steven
backing
Adams.
them up.
Woo!
This is a
Yeah.
deep team that is designed to go deep in the playoffs. And as you
Yep.
mentioned, the only thing missing there is KD, because as we saw with the Rockets last year, they played amazing defense, right? They're a very disciplined team, physical. But the only thing they're missing is that scoring kick. They
Yeah.
needed that guy who can
They
essentially
needed a consistent first option.
exactly. So
Yeah.
Jalen Green was not that guy. Was
No, this
they
wasn't
we
him.
were
Yeah.
hoping that he develop into one, but he
Hmm.
didn't, and that's why they got rid of him,
Yep.
and they got in the legitimate first option. So they were a fake
Wow.
second seed last
Hmm.
year. They're definitely a legit second seed now, and
Yeah.
there's something. If OKC is to fear someone, it's probably going to be this team.
Yep.
But OKC is definitely not going to fear the Suns,
Yep.
who got more guards. Really, they
Yep.
did trade for Mark Williams, right?
They did.
Was
They
supposed to
got
be
that
with us.
center. Yep.
They got another center. So the funny thing here is that they already have Nick Richards, who was backing up Mark Williams in Charlotte,
Right.
and they got
And now
both now.
they're yeah.
They got both. They got both. That's funny. But
Yep.
look at their depth chart right now. They just signed Booker to what's that? 145.
145 millions.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, max
That's
extension. Yep.
that's 70 million a year, dude.
Yeah.
That's reaching football F1 levels to be
Yeah.
honest there. So their projected starting lineup, they're all they're all cards, bro. You got Devin Booker, Jalen Green,
Yeah.
Bradley Beal, who might be bought out. Fair
Might be
enough.
bought out. Yep.
Dylan Brooks and Mark Williams, they don't really have a lot of depth.
No.
Although they got yeah, they don't have a lot of depth, bro. They need some direction here, and
Yeah.
I think they just wanted to get out of the KD business.
Mm.
They need to rebuild, and
Right.
that's why Bradley Beal has to go.
Yeah.
So let's wait for that move. Reports are coming that the deal should be done anytime soon.
Right.
And Bradley Beal, as we mentioned, is probably going to be on his way to Los Angeles to play
To
for the
Clippers.
Clippers.
Yep.
Now, talking about Los Angeles, we gotta left this for last
Yeah.
for a
Of
reason.
course.
Let's talk about our Lakers. Obviously,
Yeah.
let's talk about what the Lakers did.
Mm.
So, how about you detail what the moves were?
All right. So, biggest acquisition in the offseason, we finally have our center. We acquired DeAndre Ayton, 7 footer, former number one pick, former Sun, former Trailblazer. I will remember DeAndre Ayton forever for that buzzer beating alley
Yes,
oop against the Clippers. Not didn't really show much at Portland, but hey, you know what? We got ourselves a 7 footer.
that's it.
We got
We got a legit
ourselves
one.
a legit lob threat that Luca wants to play with. And the other acquisition we got was Jake LaRavia from the Grizzlies. Hmm.
This is actually one of the most underrated moves. I
Yeah,
think this was the first move that they made in this offseason, and
that
people
was
were
the
saying,
first move. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
people were saying, okay, what the hell? Why is this? Why did they get Jake Laravia? Why didn't you get Dorian Finney-Smith back? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Look, man, Jake Laravia might not be as defensively gifted as Dorian Finney-Smith,
Hmm.
but he's much more athletic.
Yep.
I think he's a much better shooter.
Yeah.
He can shoot on the move, where DFS is mostly just a standstill shooter,
Let's
catch and
spot
shoot.
up. Yeah.
Right, he's a spot up shooter, and
Hmm.
Laravia can be a movement shooter for them, which
Right.
is gives him another option.
Uh huh.
And look, he's younger.
Yeah.
Dorian Finney-Smith is 32,
Yep.
and I have my own thoughts on the deal, so we'll break it down in a bit. But let's
Mm.
just talk about what's gonna be DeAndre Ayton's fit in this team. So they also re-signed Jackson Hayes as well. So
Yeah.
essentially, that's probably what their center rotation looks like.
Right.
And if the Lakers are going to be making a move, it's probably going to be for a wing.
Right.
I'm hoping it's going to be Andrew Wiggins, to be honest with you. But
Ah.
we'll see.
Yep.
They've been linked to some players. Matisse Thybulle is one
Mhm.
from Portland. They've been linked to a lot of wings. So let's see what happens there. But what do you think about DeAndre Ayton's fit with the Lakers moving forward?
Well, with DeAndre Ayton, you're gonna get the rebounds that we need. I don't think he's gonna be legit third option for the Lakers with the scoring. Of course, we still have Luca. If LeBron is not traded, you still have him. You still have Austin Reeves. So, um, I anticipate that Aiton is gonna get, at least double rebounds. Oh, at least double digit rebounds. I'm sorry, but around 6, 8 points a game. But that'll
That's
still
pretty,
help us.
that's pretty low. I think that's pretty low.
Oh, really? Uh-huh.
Honestly speaking,
Uh,
I think what's gonna happen here is he's that role guy that's been missing since AD left,
mm,
and Jackson Hayes was getting. Remember, Jackson Hayes was getting 10 points a game,
yeah.
right? He was getting double doubles a game as well,
Mhm.
mostly, but he was getting at least 8, 12 points a
Right.
game.
Mm,
Aiden has the potential to do a lot more than that, in my opinion.
mm,
I think what this move does is this takes away a lot of pressure for LeBron to score.
yeah.
Because, as we all know, LeBron is going to turn, what, 42 this year?
42. Yeah.
He's 42,
41. 41.
He, yeah, he's 41. Oh, yeah, he's turning 41. That's right. He's turning
Yep.
41. And then we all know his stamina is not there anymore. He cannot play both offense and defense
Yeah.
in a game. He has to alternate between the two or concentrate on one.
Right.
And while you want LeBron to keep playmaking, you want LeBron to keep scoring, it's going to be tough for this Laker team to win if they cannot play defense. And the time that this Lakers team was winning a lot of games was when they were playing great defense, essentially. So what I predict will happen is that LeBron's offensive numbers will dip a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So they already did, right? So
Yeah.
he was averaging 25, 26,
25 a
but
game. Yeah.
this went down to 24, 23, right? So I think LeBron is going to average a little less points. Maybe I'm guessing he's probably going to end up in the 21 to 23 range
Right.
in regards to points per game.
Uh-huh.
And then rebounds will probably go down a little bit. I think it's going to. I believe he was 7 or 8
Yeah, it's
averaging.
about 6 or 5 now. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be 6 or 5, and then the assists will shoot up.
We'll shoot up.
That's,
Yeah.
that's where I think we'll compensate for that. He's probably gonna average a double this year, if you ask me.
Right.
I think that's what's gonna happen here because he's
Yeah.
gonna. Aiden will be a good roller. He, as you mentioned,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
a lob threat. He can catch lobs. Luka and LeBron will feast off that,
Yep.
and he's don't people forget he's got a mid range shot as well. He can
yeah.
shoot the midi.
Mm-hmm.
So my prediction for Aiton is probably gonna be he's probably gonna end up in, I would say, the 14 to 18. If he ends up
Right.
at 20 points per game, that's a big bonus.
Mm-hmm.
But that's definitely gonna be a double machine every night. That's
Yeah.
what I expect out of DeAndre Ayton.
Nice.
But what does
Yeah.
this look like for the Lakers moving forward, though? I mean, this we all know this is probably not the end move here. They still have a couple of holes to fill.
Right. Yeah.
Notably here, Austin Reeves is. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Austin Reeves is a guy who's going to be expecting a lot of money next year.
True.
Right? He's in his last year of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
He's extension eligible, which obviously he declined,
Yep.
and he's due really. So
Yeah.
he's due for a huge amount. Now, if we've been talking about Rui getting traded a lot,
Mm-hmm.
we've been talking about that, but I think in order for the Lakers to move forward, they got to take the Band-Aid off, and Austin has to be traded.
Yeah.
If you can trade Austin for
Mm-hmm.
a wing, that's probably what you want to do in this situation.
Mm.
I hate to say it. I really do. I like
Yeah.
Austin. He's
Yeah.
one of my favorite Lakers. He's going to be one of my favorite Lakers of all time, but
Mm-hmm.
you cannot pay your backcourt a lot of money for them not to play defense. And Luka doesn't play
Yeah.
defense already.
Oh yeah, yeah. You already have like that. Luka's already a defensive liability, so
Right?
Yeah.
And Austin as hard as he tries, man. As hard as he tries, he's just not built for that, really.
Right. No. It's not his game.
So I don't know if they can trade him. I don't know if they will trade him, but I feel that the best move for the Lakers, the next move they make, is trade Austin away. That's it. Unless you can get unless you can get someone for Rui, then Austin is probably going to be your next best trade chip.
Right.
Unfortunately, but I mean, dude, there's a bigger cloud in this team right now.
yeah.
there is a much bigger cloud in this team rather than Austin
Right.
Reeves is
Yeah.
pending